You know, I was gonna start out this review with a Christian Bale Batman voice, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Alright, no seriousness though, let's take a look at Batman Arkham Asylum and see how well it's held up over the past 2 years and the release of Arkham City. Now, before I start this review, I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. You see, I said Uncharted was the reason I wanted a PS3, and that's an accurate statement. But Arkham Asylum is the reason I wanted an HD console. I can remember putting Batman Arkham Asylum on my Christmas list 2 years ago, and I got it for the PC. I was thinking, yeah, I got one of those, let's pop this in. Unfortunately, my PC is a piece of shit. I'm not kidding when I say that Batman Arkham Asylum broke my laptop. Twice. Anybody want a PC copy? $20, it's yours. Anyway, 2 years later, Christmas comes once again and brings me a PS3. And, of course, at the top of my Christmas list, Batman Arkham Asylum. So, now that you know how much this game kind of means to me, let's get to the review. The game actually starts with you bringing back the Joker to Arkham Asylum. By the way, for those not into Batman lore, Arkham Asylum's the home of all the nut jobs in Gotham City. Obviously, something's up. Joker breaks free and takes over the entire island. Yeah, Batman, maybe you should have taken the following statement.
I still have a trick or two up my sleeve. I mean, don't you think it's a little bit funny how a fire at Blackgate caused hundreds of my crew to be moved here?
Seriously, I mean, following that mildly suspicious statement, Joker's escorted to his cell by one guard and one doctor. Okay, nitpicking aside, you've probably guessed that your overall goal is to find Joker and bust a cap in his ass. But of course, there are little detours. Poison Ivy goes apeshit, Bane's had way too much monster, Killer Croc's really hungry, and Scarecrow's, I don't know, bored? I've never understood his motivations. The story is somewhat standard, but expertly told, and incredible voice acting helps make it quite an enthralling experience. The primary component of this game is the groundbreaking free-flow combat. Yeah, there's a lot of thugs that want your ass on a platter, so you need to smash a few faces off here and there. And I absolutely love the combo system. It's flat out addicting. You obviously have your attack button, but you also have a counter button. Press it when you see this symbol and... rejected! You can also stun people with your cape, evade. This all may sound simplistic, but it's really a blast. Later you can earn some insta takedowns, and you can pick guys up and throw them off a cliff. I'm Batman. Bottom line, a good 50 to 60% of the game is beating the snot out of the overly confident thugs, and that's not a negative statement at all. The big gimmick in Arkham Asylum is the detective mode. You switch it on with L2, and this lets you see enemies through walls, and all the important crap is highlighted in brown. Now, it's odd. Most people complain about the overusefulness of detective mode, and how about 80% of your playthrough will be in this mode, taking away from the excellent artwork, but that was never a problem for me. I used it when it was necessary, and that's about it. I think it's a great feature. Maybe it works a little too well, but I saw no reason to complain. As the Romans say, all things in moderation. Many times in this game, 4 or 5 armed guys will waltz into the room, and you need to teach them a lesson. And it's also fun. Lots of fun. This is where you get to toy with the henchmen a little. You see, they get increasingly more scared the more henchmen you take out. When it gets down to one guy, let the laughter ensue. I think he pissed himself. The takedowns are also very satisfying. Some are completely silent, while others, like the glide kick, are noisy, but really satisfying.
Death from above, biatch!
That's basically how the gameplay is divvied up. You have some minor puzzle and platforming areas, but the combat and stealth is what you'll remember the most. And deservedly so, because it's awesome. You don't need to be a Batman fan to enjoy this tight gameplay. The gadgets are also another nice component of this game. We have the batarangs, of course. You know, how does he aim those things? I mean, they go in a curved path, and he can literally turn on a switch with them. How? Just curious. Anyway, they're really fun to use, especially 2 or 3 at a time. I'm not kidding. Anyway, you also have your grapple, where it's fine, I guess. Then there's the bat claw. Yeah, this thing is epic. Why? Here's a demonstration.
Screw you, Cat. We turned on the phone. You're trapped over there.
special now, aren't you?
Really? Oh, well, that's quite interesting. Guess what I got? There's also some fun explosive gel, not really useful in combat a lot, unfortunately, but it breaks open walls, and it's a great asset in Predator mode. There's a few others, but that's just a preview. Jumping back to the presentational merits of the game, it's incredibly impressive. Without gushing extravagantly over the impeccable voice acting, the incredibly detailed environment, the awesome character designs, and the entertaining as hell interview tapes, oh. Well, there you go. Batman fans will love the attention to detail and overall respect of the Batman universe. However, as much as I've been talking about how awesome this game is, I do have some issues with it. First and most importantly, the length is 6 to 7 hours. Maybe 8 hours tops on your first playthrough. I wouldn't mind so much, but the replay value, Rocksteady, to their credit, did try very hard, and for many people, they succeeded in bringing people back for the Riddler trophies. Me? I just went over to Arkham City after beating this game. Hey, sue me, because it requires a ton of backtracking that I just wasn't in the mood to do. Again, sue me. Secondly, and lastly, to be honest, boss battle. Now, while the villains themselves are memorable, the only real well-done encounters with them is with Scarecrow. I liked Bane's boss battle too, but then almost all the other boss battles are like this as well. They're fun, but they're kinda lacking when you consider the other encounters that should have been just as amazing. Poison Ivy was decent, but overall lackluster. I'm not showing any footage, but you're not missing much, and it totally rips off Resident Evil 4. Killer Croc was fun for like 5 minutes, then started to get boring, and the final boss, I don't hate it. It's decent, and I don't think everybody should have complained as much about it, because, I mean, geez, you go on the internet, nobody likes this thing, but it is kind of a letdown. Of course, the final cutscene is freaking epic. Without spoiling anything, let's just say Explosive Gel and Batman's fist were involved. Overall, the game's a little short and bosses are somewhat lacking, but this is an amazing game that does take my Game of the Year award for 2009. The presentation is absolutely incredible, and the two different playing styles, combat and stealth, keep the game from getting repetitive. There's also really good, like, Saw-like sections, like this one with Harley Quinn, with the electricity in the water. Really well done, very memorable, and the Scarecrow parts are friggin' awesome. There isn't much of a reason to come back, but I probably will try to 100% this game one day. But I'm not going to do that now because, well, time-wise, it's either this or Arkham City. Guess which one I picked. Still, this game really shines, and even non-Batman fans will find an extremely good game. That's why I award Batman Arkham Asylum a 9.5 out of 10. So, as I've officially stated, Batman Arkham Asylum beat out Uncharted 2 for Game of the Year. And I do have Assassin's Creed 2, and yeah, I will get to that. But before I do, I think as Mortal Kombat announcer once said,
Round 2.